Hi everyone! Today I'm going to read a story. The title of this story is The Magic Pot. Mr. Wong was a fisherman. He worked hard, but he was poor. He could never catch enough fish to feed himself and his wife. One day he caught one little fish. Mr. and Mrs. Wong will have to share it for dinner. Then something heavy tugged on Mr. Wong's fishing line. This fish must be huge, he said. He pulled up the line. Instead of a giant fish, Mr. Wong had caught a big metal pot. Mr. Wong was not happy. A big pot to cook in, but nothing to cook, he said to himself. He threw the one little fish into the old pot and started dragging it home. Perhaps he could trade the pot for food in the village. Mr. Wong arrived at his house. His wife looked into the pot. Well, at least you caught two fish, Mrs. Wong said, smiling. What do you mean? I only caught one fish, Mr. Wong said. He looked inside the pot. Sure enough, there were two fish flopping around inside. Mr. and Mrs. Wong could not explain where the second fish came from. They were too hungry to complain. Mrs. Wong added the only turnip into the pot to make a stew. Suddenly, there were two turnips in the pot. This pot must be magic, Mr. Wong said. He pulled both fish out of the pot. Then he put them back. He saw two more fish appeared. He did it again. Then there were eight. And then there were eight. We'll never be hungry again, he cheered. I have an idea, Mrs. Wong said. She dumped the wet fish into the floor. Then she put the single coin they had into the pot. It turned into two coins. She doubled the coins again and again. Soon the tiny house was overflowing with money. Mr. and Mrs. Wong were so happy they jumped for joy. We'll never be hungry or poor again, they sang. Mrs. Wong was so excited she didn't watch where she was stepping. She slipped into the wet fishy floor and tumbled into the pot. Mr. Wong reached in and pulled out Mrs. Wong. As Mrs. Wong was brushing off her clothes, a second Mrs. Wong emerged from the pot. The two confused Mrs. Wongs looked at each other. They shrugged. There were two of them now, and no one could do anything about it. Well, we still have to eat, said the first Mrs. Wong. Mr. Wong and I will have fish still, said the first Mrs. Wong. No, Mr. Wong and I will have steamed fish for dinner, said the second Mrs. Wong. The two Mrs. Wong argued. The first Mrs. Wong grabbed Mr. Wong by the arm. Come, husband, she said, we will eat fish stew together. The second Mrs. Wong grabbed Mr. Wong's other arm. We will be having steamed fish. The two Mrs. Wong tugged and pulled at poor Mr. Wong. Then Mr. Wong lost his balance. He fell into the pot. Oh no! cried the first Mrs. Wong. Pull him out! cried the second Mr. Mrs. Wang. The first Mrs. Wang reached into the pot. She pulled out Mr. Wang. Then out came a second Mr. Wang. The two Mrs. Wang were happy. They now each has a husband their own. I guess two Wangs can make a right, chuckled the first Mr. Wang. Mrs. Wang. Mr. Wang. The couples quickly become best friends. They even built an identical house next to each other. The two Mrs. Wangs never argued again. The end. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.